We're going to be breaking down The Flash Season 9, Episode 2 promo, which is titled Hear No Evil. We're going to be watching the promo and continue with the video.
You loved Frost with all your heart. Sometimes when we love someone like that, we do the wrong things.
Where's Caitlin? Need a doctor.
If you're not Caitlin or Frost, who are you?
No more going rogue.
The promo is, it seems like a filler, but at the same time, we're getting into the Caitlyn stuff, which is what I really wanted this early. That way we're not dealing with it in like 9/12. So I prefer we're getting it out of the way now. And we do know that Red Death will be in this episode due to the episode description we got for 902. Basically saying that Barry feels guilty for what happened to Caitlyn. And Red Death looms inside the city and commands that failure is not an option. Now, we know that Red Death hates Barry for a passion. I'm assuming we'll probably find out why this episode. If not, probably 903 will be when we actually find out. However, in the promo, there are a few things to point out that caught my eye immediately after rewatching. Barry is beating himself up for what happened to Caitlyn and, all that. And when Barry was telling Mark, when they were in the bar talking, chilling, that, when you love someone, you do stupid things, they showed a clip from A16 when Barry saw Caitlin's apartment, which I think we can all agree was one of Barry's more just, not really thinking we're getting it done moment for Barry. But it was a cool scene nonetheless, but it led to Caitlyn doing all this, pushing her to not trust Barry and to do, all these other stuff. So he is going to beat himself up. It wouldn't be Barry if he didn't. But, he did play a role in all this. So I think he's really going to connect the dots and beat himself up, which he probably should. Barry's also telling Mark that he doesn't want him to go rogue anymore. So I'm assuming Mark does something behind Team Flash's back after learning about Caitlyn. Unless he's referring to Mark helping Caitlyn and not going to them. Maybe he's referring to that. But it's either that or Mark goes rogue again against Team Flash. Who knows? But Barry's pretty much promising Mark that they will help Caitlyn one way or another. Hartley shows up, or will show up, and he's in Star Labs in the med bay. He's injured, he needs a doctor, and of course Caitlyn's isn't there anymore, the new Frost is. So whoever the hell that person is, I don't think she's a doctor, so we're gonna need Caitlyn back. Now the Fiddler makes an appearance. I was not expecting her to show up in 902. Then again, I was expecting Red Death to show up in 901, so... but, the Fiddler is in this. Now, she does have a guitar. It is, really, teched out. Kind of futuristic. Did that just say anything? Which also, the tech that Captain Boomerang used, kind of futuristic. So, that I don't know if that tells us that Red Death is from the future. A corrupt Ryan Wilder from the future, which I don't know how that would make any sense, but I guess we'll find out. Or another Earth. I know someone brought up on Twitter that it could be the reverse Flashpoint. On another Earth, Red Death turns rogue, becomes Red Death, and, even though they already fought Red Death in the armored reverse Flashpoint, it might not even been Ryan Wilder. It could have been a different person. So, who knows? Depends where it all goes. But... the Fiddler does seem to be killing someone Hartley cares about. Because there's a guy on the ground, the Fiddler is approaching him, and looks like he's dying, and calling out for Hartley. And we do know that in the trailer for Season 9, Hartley is seen being said that he has nothing left to live for. So, Hartley is losing someone here. I'd be generally surprised if he wasn't losing someone. But the fact that Red Death is making these people kill people now is another whole story. Because she's not playing around. Which, we kind of knew she wasn't. But this is going to send a message to Barry. that, not only did Captain Boomerang show up, try to kill him and everyone else in the city, but now the Fiddler is killing people now too. That should connect some dots with Barry that, these two are a much bigger threat, like Joe was saying. Captain Boomerang is working with someone, and that someone's not the Fiddler. The Fiddler and Captain Boomerang are working for someone. That should be what Barry and Joe come to at the end of this episode, assuming Joe's in it that much. And then there's a scene, you can't really make it out, but this person is picking up a case. It kind of looks like it would be a case for a guitar. So I wonder if they're in that base that Captain Boomerang and Red Death were at in Unit 901. And it's the Fiddler getting her guitar, her weapon. Maybe it's that. That's the only thing I could possibly see. It did look like there were some other people there, like some random civilians. So unless Red Death just randomly put a guitar in some random location, that's the only real reason. But I did look at a guitar case from what I've seen. So I would assume it's the Fiddler getting her guitar, because we do see it in the promo that she does have one. And in the trailer, I didn't connect the dots, but that is the Fiddler in the trailer when she's walking towards the person on the ground. I didn't even think twice about that being the Fiddler. I thought it was someone completely different, but so it's and we know in 903 through the promo images that Barry does get tied up by the Rogues, and that all this is unfolding. That or it's 904. It could be 904. It's probably 904. It's definitely not 902. 902, it will have Red Death, but it'll mainly be about Caitlin and Hartley. Those will be the two main focuses next to Barry and probably Iris about this episode. Which again, the Caitlin stuff, I made publicly clear I'm not that interested in it after 820. But in 901, I have to know who this new Frost is. I've been predicting for months now that it could be Crystal Frost. If we don't know who Crystal Frost is, I'm not going to go much into her character. But she's pretty much a more powerful Frost. And it'd be a very interesting character to do in live action for Daniel Panabaker. I think she'd knock it out of the park, to be honest. Because we're not getting Caitlin back. After all this setup, I would be a little bit surprised if when this story arc is done, because I don't think it'll be done in 902, but whenever this story arc is done, I would be genuinely surprised if we're ending up with Caitlin back, because, all this setup is showing that we're getting a Frost back. Not the Frost or Killer Frost, but a Frost. I think it's fair to say that Caitlin at this point is dead. I would be a little bit surprised if she wasn't. But, and the fact that she introduced herself as not Caitlin, not Frost, as someone new, this is one personality. This isn't two personalities being split into one person. This is one new personality in Caitlin's body with blue hair. And in the comics, last time I checked, Crystal Frost has, pure blue hair. So I wonder if they're going to pull that off with Crystal Frost and, working with Barry and all that. Or will Barry and Crystal Frost fight? And it'll be a full-on, not speedster fight again like 702, but it'll be a full-on fight. Because we don't know if she's a foe or friend. She was questioning that in 820. Now in 901, she wants to meet up with the Flash. It doesn't sit well with me or Barry, I would assume, because this is someone completely new. And Team Flash is questioning who the hell she is in the promo. So it's gonna be interesting. And I'm here for it, It's not like we got really anything else to focus on right now. Because 901 set up, a rogues gallery, possibly with Red Death charging it, or leading it, I should say. But at the end of the day, this is not Armageddon, the story arc, I mean. We're not dealing with Despero showing up in 901, and in 902, Barry's revealing his identity to Despero to keep him from dying. And then his world falling apart, and the one villain showed up where Barry did a Super Saiyan move, and, realizing that Joe died through the reverse Flashpoint, and then, going to Jefferson in the Hall of Justice. This is not that. This is a completely different setup of a story. What we're dealing with is Red Death making, like, one appearance in 901 and probably 902, maybe 2 appearances in 902. But it will be in Central City. But she's already in Central City, but, she'll be actually, like, out there, it looks like. So, it's going to be very interesting. Now, another thing to point out is that Red Death, like I brought up in my review for 901, which you haven't seen it, go watch it, because that video's not doing well. It does give off serious Thawne Season 1 vibes, not just with the red eyes and the sound effects, but also with her voice, that vibrating voice, just how threatening she seems to be. We haven't gotten that since Season 8 with Thawne, but that kind of feeling and that vibe, we haven't gotten it since Season 2 with Zoom. But really, Season 1 Thawne was the first thing that came to my mind. So I do wonder if they're trying to pick up some of the Season 1 vibes, which we know they already did. They did it in the premiere. They're probably going to do it the entirety of the season. So it's going to be a big thing. It just depends how will it work out and all that. So we're just going to see pretty much where will it all go and how it all play out at the end of the day. But, this is going to be a big thing. We know that Barry will be facing off against the Fiddler. We can pretty much confirm that through set photos, or promo photos, not set photos. And we know that Barry, Chester, and Iris are working together, which I'm all for. I think Chester's probably one of the best members of Team Flash right now, next to Barry and Iris. So, and Joe, obviously. But, Caitlin's not on Team Flash anymore, so I guess, right? So, who knows where it's going to go. I'm just excited it's being addressed and it's going to be wrapped up sooner rather than later. Because, again, this storyline could have easily been dragged out to, like, 9/12, and it'd be wrapped up like a time sickness. So instead of, like, 12 episodes, it was 20, 24 probably, or 23. So I'm glad they're bringing this up now. It probably won't be done with. They're also going to try something with Caitlin because she's in that cryopod in the speed lab. So they're also going to do something with Caitlin. I wonder if he'll end up with her dying, would be my thing. Because again, I can't imagine that Caitlin's just going to come back and have zero side effect. If Caitlin does come back, she'll probably have powers again. Like, she won't be Crystal Frost or Killer Frost or Frost. She'll be Caitlin Snow, but actually has, like, meta powers. Like, cold powers or something. I don't know. But I do generally believe that this will be a new Caitlin that we get if the Frost era is gone. Which, 50-50 on that. Like I said, it could be Crystal Frost, who is a more powerful version of Frost. Do I want that? No. With the power at least. Because it could arguably be more powerful than Barry, which is scary. But I do like the idea of a new Frost coming in and it being Crystal Frost. I said it months ago. Even during Season 8, when Frost died and Caitlin was going through this whole setup, I said that I would love Crystal Frost to be in the show, and I did mean that. It's just, I don't want her to be more powerful than Barry. They're kind of setting up, like I said in my premiere review, that Cecile is kind of being set up to be the most powerful person on Team Flash, when that shouldn't even be close to the case. It should be Barry being the most powerful on the team, period. So I really hope they don't just level up everyone, push Barry to the side after he's already leveled up. Even though Barry is arguably still leveling up in Season 9 because he just faced a freaking nuke explosion, which is way more that's the most powerful thing Barry's ever done in the series, by the way. Facing a nuke explosion. The guy could barely face a train in Season 3. Season 5, he needed 2 other species' help to phase a plane. 4 seasons later, he's facing a nuke explosion across an entire city A nuke's way more powerful than the plane or train. I mean, Jesus. So it's definitely a huge thing that's going to be going on in this season. And I'm all here for it. So thank you guys for watching the video. Have a good day. Have a good night. Stay safe. And I'll see you on the next video. Bye, guys.